And the book.
And the book. So,
Yikes.
just like we do every week, this is our second time going live on TikTok. Cass has his phone up here. Somebody's got to take a picture of this setup, guys. It's literally intense. We've got scripts. We've got all of this happening and a light. You would feel like we're in a real live production studio. It's pretty incredible.
Bananas. Wait, where are all the cameras? There they are. What up?
What up? Yeah, so they say that we're not on a filter on. I think Casual is a liar.
Like, he is a bald-faced liar, because that is just as filtered as she wants to be.
I'm like, this perfect face. I mean, my hair really does look this good today. So does yours. So.
All I did was comment.
Oh, I put a little curl in her. Caitlin, if you're watching on one of these platforms, tell me how I did. Anywho. So, yeah. Well, I guess I know. Where do you look? I think we're going to look at Smart Settlements. It says, hey, E&I team.
Hi, Smart. Who's behind this one today? Who is behind the Smart on the IG? Give us a name. Who goes that? Could it be our Smart Ryan? Could it be our Smart Franklin? Could it be our Smart Evelyn? I don't think Evelyn is the one in charge of this stuff.
I don't think so.
She's too busy being the boss of many other things.
That's true. Oh, what is this?
Who do you think? I'm going with Smart Ryan for 300. Maybe Frankie Poo. I don't know.
I don't know how this works.
Yikes. Decline.
Yeah.
Franklin! Yay!
Perfect.
You haven't given up the reins to Smart Ryan yet, or is he too busy doing his peak week that he's not available for social media right now?
Oh, is he competing this weekend?
No, he's doing a transformation challenge, and so this is his peak week of it.
Oh.
And then he maybe put in a show on the books later in the year.
Good for you, Smart Ryan. That's wonderful. Love that.
Yeah, he's a great energy.
Love it.
Anywho.
Happy Wednesday, friends.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
All day long.
Yeah. Jen had so many learning moments this weekend for real estate. And it was funny because when she sat down, I was like, I don't know if I learned anything really relative to real estate this weekend. I learned that Soma had a really great sale on bras this weekend.
Cool.
Yeah, 3 for $99. Love saving some money.
Here's the thing, too. We do so much throughout the day and throughout the week that every day is just a blur at the end of it. Like, literally, if somebody asks me tomorrow, what'd you do yesterday? I don't know without opening my calendar. Yeah. Like, I literally have to open my calendar and be like, oh, yeah, I did. It just all gets mushed together.
Yeah, I'm going to learn something today, though, because I went to a house yesterday and I walked into one of the rooms and they have wood paneling in it, and the wood paneling is actually starting to melt, which is super strange because there's some kind of water intrusion happening somewhere. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on there, but I'm going to find out today. So that'll be my learning moment for next week.
Speaking of water intrusion, client story, but one of my clients, their walk up from the basement, the walk up drain area, water keeps coming into the basement. And they've had the builder out to look at it. They say you just have to keep the drain clean. I was like, get somebody out there, have them snake that thing, see if there's something way deep down in there. Because they're like, we keep it clean. We don't understand why it keeps backing up. So anybody out there in TV land who's had any issues with water coming into your basement from the drain not properly draining, hit me up. Let me know what your guy found, your lady, whatever. Because I'm at a loss. Like, I don't know what to to do.
Snake it?
Yeah.
Maybe. I will tell you that Drano, I did learn that Drano doesn't work. It actually destroys your pipe over time. So that's the reason why it's good to have a plumber come out and fix the stuff. Snake it out. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Have you ever used one of those, like, plastic?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, it's so gross.
She's talking about the yellow ones with the teeth on it, and you shove it down your drain, and you pull out all the gunk. It's super gross.
Oh, my God. I remember the first time I did it, I was like, I had, like, gloves on up to my elbows. I was, like, putting everything in plastic bags. I wouldn't touch any of it.
So gross.
Disgust. But the things you got to do, maintenance.
It's true.
Anyhow.
Well, learning moment. So one of our neighborhood lenders popped in the other day, and Jen was doing some research for a client. And tell us what you learned. So
for 1099 folks out there, non-W-2s, Or, I mean, W-2s can do it too, but like, why would you?
Why would you?
There's something called a bank statement loan that's available. So it is a little bit of a higher interest rate. There is a minimum of 10% down required. Minimum credit score is 660. Interest rates range between 5.5% to 6.5%, but secure it, refi later. Yeah, so they pulled the last 12 months of your bank statements. And somehow the underwriting magic behind the scenes, they have some calculation that they follow and they plug and push numbers and push buttons and things and tell you what you're qualified for. So I thought it was pretty cool. I had no idea.
No, I had no idea. How did he say how long it would take? Like, is it...
You can still push like a 14-day close.
Wow.
I mean, you just get your approval.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So...
And I don't think and lenders out there, tell us if we're wrong, but I don't think every lending company can do this.
Correct. Like this particular company, they just started the program back in October. I talked to another lender because obviously I'm trying to like gather information about it and see, all right, who differs? Is there any difference from, lender to lender? And across the board, they're pretty much the same. Mm-hmm. But, some have just been doing it a little bit longer than others. So
true.
It'll be interesting to see.
I love it. Mm-hmm. Wow.
That's it, right? 660 minimum credit score, 5.5% to 6.5% interest rate, 10% down payment, 12 months bank statements.
10%, that's only $50K. I mean, and that's what you probably would have paid in taxes. So on a $500,000, like what I'm thinking in my head is like on a $500,000 house, it's $50K.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to pay your taxes 1099s, this is not advice.
You don't want to pay, you should pay.
Right. Get on a payment plan.
Yeah.
And then use that cash that you would have paid up front to buy a house.
Right.
Oh, man.
So I'm like, woof, what if you secure a home and then the IRS comes for your home?
Well, they have payment plans. They have payment plans and stuff that you can get on for if you don't pay your taxes.
Yeah.
I would love to know the statistic of how many realtors are affected by not paying their taxes.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Crazy.
Anyway,
so learning moment for me that had not necessarily anything to do with real estate related, but I did learn it through a real estate channel. So, we've told you guys that we've joined Place now, and every Monday I have a call with one of our co-founders. And this week he was talking about communication, and that is something that I've always been a student of, but it was a great reminder about plain communication, right? So whenever you're in a position, Jen's waving at stuff. Whenever you're in a position to...
I'm sorry, Facebook.
a leadership position, people automatically assume that you are intelligent. And so there's no need for you to use these giant words to seem smarter than you probably are whenever you need to just communicate with people plainly. So that was a great reminder of that, because I find I really like language. I really like writing. And so I do find myself using larger words from time to time, but a great reminder just to speak plainly and succinctly. Succinctly, damn it. This is,
Keep it simple, folks.
Keep it simple. Keep it simple. It works well. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway, so market update, what you got?
I don't know. What did I write? See, this is the thing. Like, everything is a blur. Appraisals are all over the place. I, knock on wood, have been very fortunate with many of my buyers right now and escalating prices, and we're still appraising.
Yeah. Yeah, we kind of talked about this last week. This appraisal situation is very strange. Like a very specific case. Tell them about the condo. Like that. I literally almost fell out my chair.
Yeah. So one of our neighborhood listings here, I knew to my absolute core, the price was exactly where it was supposed to be. It was 100% in line with all the comps. And my sellers loved them to death. They trusted me and they had faith. And we sat on the market for over 100 days at the same price. We did not change it because we knew this is the price. Like, anything less would be leaving money on the table. So we get a beautiful contract, list price, appraisal comes back $35K over.
Which I still don't understand this because what it appraised at is the same thing that one of our waterfront units that sold less than 6 months ago appraised for. And this is not a waterfront unit. This is a unit that sits in the back side of the building, with a street view. Now, granted,
I can see some water. There's a water glimpse.
There's a water glimpse. Bye. Get out of here with that. But it is, I mean, it's a beautiful unit. The bathroom was completely redone. It was upgraded to, it's probably one of the prettiest ones that we've seen in the building.
Yeah.
And the kitchen was really beautiful too. So
it's one of the layouts. Like that layout is really in demand,
Yeah.
for condo living.
But it was interesting because our waterfront units, like literally it's a feeding frenzy as soon as they get listed. But the ones that are on the back side of the unit, unless you're in the high rise and facing the nature preserve, those do tend to go pretty fast because it has beautiful views of the eagles and stuff back there.
Yeah. And another one, I had somebody willing to escalate, or we guaranteed $100K over contract price. That thing came in right where we needed it to be. They ain't coming out of pocket $1 more.
Yeah.
So I get to keep $100K in the bank.
We had one come in last week that was, they listed at, I think I told you, I don't know if this came in last week or everything is running together. Duh. But anyway, they're only having to come out of pocket $16K because they had to escalate way over. And they're like, we have it, we just don't want to spend it. I mean, obviously nobody does. You would rather spend on like doing projects or doing whatever. And it only ended up coming up $16,000 low. What were they mentally prepared to have to pay? $60K over.
Yep. See, that's a win. Yeah. That's a win. I was talking to my dad about this as an appraiser. All the stuff that he's seen, people guaranteeing $112,000 over list or over contract. Just crazy numbers. I tell him, I'm like, just close the gap. It's all you can do. You may not be able to get it to appraise to the actual contract price, but just close that gap, because if they were prepared to pay X amount and they're not paying that much, but still coming out of pocket something, they're still going to feel like they won.
Yeah.
So.
It's true. Is TikTok saying something? She's done, LOL. I don't understand.
Oh, you're missing comments?
I think so. One of these days, I'm going to learn how to social media with how many, or maybe we'll just have Kaz sitting here like trying to figure out how to.
Who's done? Who's
I don't know. I don't know.
Did you see something before?
We've got smiley faces. I don't know. Who's done, Rachel? Tell me.
For the record, Franklin and Ryan, I got this little stylus out to try and click the wave button to wave to you guys, and it's not working. So
yeah.
Anywho.
Yeah. Interesting things that are happening out there. I didn't write this down, but it's like observations that I'm making in our listings that have come up in the last week and a half. We're not seeing as many offers as that we were, but yet some people are still aggressive and coming in super hot, which I think is interesting, I guess, because you're conditioned. It's almost like a trauma response. You've been looking for so long, and then you have a break in either the weather or a break in timing, and you're able to secure a house at that moment.
Yeah.
And I just wish so badly that I had a crystal ball and I knew whenever these things were going to happen. And I feel very lucky that we're on the listing side of this stuff. It's interesting, very interesting.
I'm like, says you, but I have 4 buyers. I was going to say
she's on the buy. Yeah, she's on the buy side of by the house right now.
And then next month is more list heavy. It's weird how it's going back and forth, but happy to do it.
Yeah,
happy to help.
Happy to help
the experience on both sides and all over the place too. Have a listing coming on in Herndon, not all over, still Nova, right? There'll be a listing coming on in Herndon, one in Kingstown, and one here in Belmont. So keeping it home, Belmont Bay, but also home in other parts, because this is home.
Right,
the Virginia
all
is
the
home
area
for me.
is
So.
home. For sure.
Yeah, so it'll be good.
Yeah.
And then you got one in Upper Marlboro, beautiful single family. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's going through getting the work done right now, so that should be done soon.
Yeah, it's gonna be really pretty.
Yeah. All right. Tenants.
So I've got some folks, a couple of different renters who are trying to get out of their leases this spring/summer instead of riding it out until next year. Ready to just jump into the world of buying, jump into this competitive buyer buyer pool right now. It's just a reminder that people do things for pleasure or to avoid pain, right? Is that the saying? Something like that.
Yep.
And their pain is rent's increasing and no like predictability of what the market is going to do. So it's like, just do it. Just get in there now, start building your equity now. Yeah, so it'll be exciting this summer to see some of those folks turning over to homeowners. And most landlords are flexible with that right now too, because there's such low inventory and because rental prices are on the incline. They're more willing to let their tenants out in this time period versus say like fall going into winter, because they know that they'll be able to get somebody else in quite easily.
So one of my sellers, the lease does not end until September. And he's talking about buying them out of their lease so he can list earlier. Just because of like the prices, not knowing where everything is going to go. It might end up being a better situation to be able to do that. And it would help the tenants out too, to be able to have that additional cash to move forward. But yeah, it's interesting. It's still interesting. It's very interesting times.
And the tenants don't want to buy the property they're in?
No. It's like kind of like a situation where you've got like all the individual rooms rented from
got it.
millennials, 20-somethings.
Got it.
All that jazz. So, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like our wheels are going now like, okay.
It's cute though. It's over. It's in Alexandria. It's off one, but it's close to...
What part of Rowan?
Rosemont Avenue.
Oh. Yep.
Yeah.
Is that 09 or 06?
I don't remember off the top of my head. She's from Alexandria originally.
So I'm like, what zip code?
I'm like, oh no, it's pretty over there. Yeah.
What else is going on in the world?
I don't know. I feel like it's very short. It's funny because like this transition for me, it's like I'm focusing so much on like getting the business where it needs to be structurally before I like really dive into lead generation. But Jen's been going through a program called a program called Launch. Let's talk about that.
Bye.
Because we get approached all the time about people who are considering getting into the real estate business and all of that. And so we've been doing this for
7 years.
7 years.
2015.
God. It's okay. So number one, guys, this is literally the longest job I think I've ever.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like I've stayed with companies, mind you. All right. I was thinking about this the other day. So it's like, whenever I was I've had the weirdest jobs, right? Like my first job was McDonald's, and then I worked at a company called Zest. It was like a fried chicken place. And I worked at Hollywood Video, and then I was a TTY operator so like the telecommunications for the deaf.
Yeah.
I was a TTY operator. I was a personal assistant for a female builder. And then I was I was like in college. When I was in college, I was not a ghostwriter, but like whenever somebody like he was a writer, he was a book writer, and so then I would like transcribe all of his like books to
random.
I know, it's super just had the most random jobs.
Yeah.
I don't know what you would call that. That was neat. It was my English teacher's husband. He was a writer, and so I was like his typist, I guess. Anyway, I did that for a while, and then I joined the military. And then in the military, I couldn't even stay put there because I first went in as a cop. And then I decided to take that like active duty. And then I went to the recruiting and retention office and worked there for a year. And then I had the opportunity to switch career fields and go into information management. And then I became an assistant to the mission support group commander. And then they're like, hey, here's this opportunity in DC. And so then I took the DC opportunity, but only stayed in position for 6 months there. And it's like, you see what I'm saying? Like, I just don't stay put for very long because I'm like, cool, like I get bored. So
I like consistency.
She loves consistency. Yeah. And then like I'd have just as long of a story of like what we're doing right now with all of this. So the moral of the story is like real estate is a really interesting thing. And so like since we joined Place, there's training opportunities within the team that's called a launch program. So like we've got our newest agent going through the new agent launch right now. And then we've got Jen and Will who are going through the experienced agent launch right now. And how does it differ from kind of the stuff that we've been taught in the past? Like,
I'm not the one to ask, because what I'm doing is using the basic reminders that it's giving me, like following a very specific schedule in what we call our lead generating time, lead gen. So it's just touching our folks, right? Just checking in on people and seeing if they need anything real estate related, and just seeing how they're doing, right?
Yeah.
So that's the big piece that I'm implementing, because that alone, because I am so sphere and past client based with my business, that alone is keeping me swamped. So it's like all the extras, I'll pull and plug them in when I can, like when the time block allows, but I'm not allowing it to like run my world right now and drive me absolutely insane, because like that it happens.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I don't know how, I mean, Will probably has different perspective to it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's interesting stuff. Like plugging into something, because we've been doing this for 7 years. 7 years. Like I just get, like, that's so wild to me. We've been doing this for 7 years. So it's like where we were and what we were taught, and kind of like, I had an aha, it's a Keller Williams word. It's like, we had an aha. I was in the shower the other day, so where I have a lot of shower thoughts. And I was like, my God, we are absolutely in sales. Like, whenever you look at lead generation and how this actually works, of like how to get business and all of that, like we 100% have to call our people. People don't just walk, I mean, they do in our community, just walk through the door. And our friends do just call us because they recognize that we're real estate agents. But as far as like, if you're going to stay a really good producer and you're actually going to build an income and build wealth for your family and all of these things, like you are 100% absolutely in sales, which means you have to cold call people and you have to build relationships with everybody in the world. And it's such a different perspective than what I thought it was whenever I first got into this. Because I remember sitting at Long and Foster and I'm just like, I'm not in sales. I'm an investment advisor. Oh no, I'm in sales, like 100%, which I love, because I don't think that there's not a better job in the world than being in sales. But that's also because of our personality types.
There's not a better job in the world for us.
That's true.
I'm like,
yeah.
I can think of a few things that people probably get, you know, their little fancy tickled by.
That's true.
But, you know, you do what you love.
Yeah, you do what you love. Anyway.
Jim said good morning.
Yeah, good
Pilates
morning.
Done. All right, Easton Accountability.
Yeah, Easton Accountability. We've got our Easton Accountability Challenge. If you guys have seen us on Facebook and tagging in each other and stuff, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. We started that last year, and we're doing it again this year. And we've got, I don't know, how many people do we have? It's like 19 of us, I think, that are keeping each other accountable for just trying to live healthier lives. Like you want to see Big Bertha? So I just filled her back up. I was actually down to here, but according to the internet, I'm actually supposed to drink over a gallon a day. So now I'm at 1.39, I think, 22 ounces.
There is an equation. I will figure out what it is, but it's something to do with your body weight to gallons of water, or to ounces of water. Oof, what is it?
It's either one or
I think it's half. You're supposed to drink half your body weight number in ounces. Yeah. So like if you weigh 150, you should be drinking 75 ounces a day.
That's a lot of water.
Is that right? Yeah, I think that's right. I just heard Kaz react like, I start drinking my water.
Yeah, I had a lot, like, there was a lot of, like, interesting ahas about whatever you call this, being hydrated. So I've never been a person who's ever drank a lot of water. I just don't drink a lot during the day, period. And then all of a sudden I started drinking, and a lot of interesting things have started happening with my body. Like, swelling has gone down, face has like gone down, hair looks better, nails, like literally everything. My entire body's like, oh, this is what it feels like. And then I wake up and I can recognize, be like, oh, I'm dehydrated right now if I haven't drank enough water in the last like few minutes. So I don't know how I've gone 35 years on this planet and not had this realization.
I don't know either, but welcome. Better late than never.
I know, welcome. Better late than never.
You are supposed to drink a glass of water as soon as you wake up, though. like start your day with a glass of water.
And go to bed. So it's like, thank you, TikTok. Somebody sent me a reel the other day. I think Will sent me a reel the other day, or a TikTok the other day, and it was just like, he's like, do you want better? And it's drink a glass of water and then take some supplements right before you go to bed, and then you'll feel really great. And I was like, great reminder, because I talked to a nutritionist a long time ago. I was like, here are the things that you should take in the evening, and blah, blah, blah. So I started doing that, and I was like, sure enough, I wake up in the morning like super pumped and jazzed and all that stuff. So yeah, it's good. Anyway, so it's never too late to jump on the Easton Accountability train. If you want to hang out with
we're only in week 2.
Yeah, we're only in week 2. And, we've got some fun events and some fun group workouts and all that other stuff. So feel free, join us. We love it. We love it there.
Franklin and Ryan, we still need to talk about a East and Smart and Ivy Smart and Ivy workout sesh. I got to figure out the deets on that. I'll put that on my project
One
list.
of our partners, Smart Settlements, for those of you who don't know, they are really into health and fitness too, and it's really cool watching their managing attorney. Like, she's always in the gym, and she started something a couple years ago. What is it? AM
Workout Crew.
Yeah, AM Workout Crew. So it's fun. So we cheer on each other.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's it.
So, call to action. Who's the friend?
Oh, Victoria. So we all know Ukraine is literally on fire right now. So a good friend of mine, Victoria, she lived in Ukraine for 26 years of her life. Her family has been there forever, are still there. But she has put together a donation, basically, link, which is givesendgo.com, and maybe we can add it to the comments here. There's the option to donate monetarily. There's the option to pray with other people for them.
I love that.
And then just to have the option to share the link with other people too. So I saw her in the gym this morning and just talked to her for about 20 minutes, and it's how she's even functioning. I don't even know. So yeah, she was telling me that they're trying their damnedest to get bulletproof vests, but they're so expensive. They're like $600 each. And certain, like, they can't deliver to certain parts of the country because of the whole divide, and certain countries are giving, others aren't. Like, it all depends on like this line of like this side of Ukraine or the far side of Ukraine, and different borders. She was saying it took her dad, he went back 2 days. He was here in the States, and he went back 2 days before things started popping off there. And they've got different like online chats and everything of families that can reach out asking people who are fleeing to like pick up some of their family, basically. So he left the country with 4 women, a family of 4. The husband was in Poland. And so, yeah, he was responsible to get this family to safety. And they just reached one of the borders, I think it was 2 days ago. It took them 5 days. 5 days to get from where they were in Ukraine to this one Polish
Neighboring
border.
countries are allowing for refugees at this point?
Yes, some borders have, she was saying some borders have like 5,000 cars waiting to get across this particular border, and they're like tracking him, her family here, they're all like tracking him and watching the maps and like seeing what the best route is for him to go, and the borders that are going to be opening up that'll have fewer people. So he was able to get to one that only had 1,000 cars, but it took 2 days
to get out.
5 days to get from where they were to the border, and then another 2 days at the border to get through 400 meters. It took them 48 hours to move 400 meters. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah. So anywho, givesendgo.com. If we can.
Angie put it in the comments.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah, so you guys can check it out. So givesendgo.com.
Thank you, Angie.
Man.
Yeah.
This world. I called my mom yesterday. There's so much stuff going on with Ukraine, just like with personal friends, with all of these things. It's like I was on the phone with my mom yesterday, and I was just like, look, you're a prayer warrior, man. Like, here are all the things. Can you please just call and pray with your friends? And my heart is broken
for power. That's all for power.
All for power. Well, so I don't know how to social media, and I also missed a whole bunch of comments. Hi, Franklin, and yes, we are in here with the hair, like
Al.
Yeah.
Kelly. Cute.
Thank you, Kelly. Nicole's hair is giving me life. Nicole's hair is also giving me life. Thank you, Caitlin.
Just 1, 2,
half. She was probably responding to something that we said. Yeah, so I had clicked on somebody's comment. It was like replying to a comment.
Water.
Oh, half. Okay, yeah. And then Angie says, yes, that's right. She never, I know.
All the stuff I yelled at you about before from Q.
Yeah,
Q drinks 40 ounces of water first thing in the morning. Love
40
that.
ounces? Mm-hmm. How many is that?
Let's see. 5 glasses of water.
All right, so holy moly, Q. Okay, so that would be for your perspective, friends. This is 38 ounces up to here. God bless.
By the time I finish with my AM sesh, I've had a 12-ounce cup of coffee. That counts for water, right? 12 ounces of water. My shaker bottle with pre-workout, 22. Shaker bottle with BCHs or whatever they are, the muscle rebuilder, 22. And then another full water over cardio, 22. So that's 66, 68, 70. 70 ounces of water from 5:15 a.m. to 9 a.m. And on that note, I need to use the restroom.
I'm like, dang. All right, Kelly says, I know Victoria. The neighborhood put up blue and yellow lights in her country's honor. Oh my God, that's wonderful.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah. Yep, she's right up here in Lorton.
Wow, Lady V.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Mm-hmm. And bless her, she's like, I want to pack up my things, I want to go. And her husband Tony's like, I know that you want to go, but you're better here, doing what you can from here and being able to just like have like an eagle eye on everything, you know?
Yeah.
So,
well, things that we don't think about, I'm not going to say any names, but we have some friends who are from different countries and they are currently getting called back to their embassies right now.
Oof.
Yeah, to potentially get drafted because they don't know what's going to happen. It's surrounding countries to Russia. So it's really intense out there of like we're not even recognizing as like American. And the crazy thing about him is that if he says no, because he has dual citizenship, if he says no, he'll never be able to go back to his country again. Wow. Yeah, if he says no to the draft. So people around the world are getting affected in ways that we don't even consider as Americans right now. So keep everybody in your prayers.
I know it's crazy. Usually the news portrays things to be way worse than they actually are when it comes to like wars and things like that.
I think they're portraying it to be a little bit better in this case.
They certainly are.
Yeah, to not scare us
but
poor little Americans way worse
than what they're showing. Way worse.
Well, on that note, friends.
Give, share, pray.
Yeah. All right. Well, we love you. Facebook, you're going down first, and then we'll see you next Wednesday. Love you all.